Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you the book The Genius of Birds, which provides a brand new perspective on avian intelligence, allowing us to re-examine these lovely creatures. Let's take a look at some of the surprises from the avian world. When it comes to birds, the first impression that comes to mind is probably their petite and lively appearance, like sparrows and woodpeckers. But when it comes to intelligence, we tend to think of birds as rather dumb, without too much wit. This is actually a prejudice against birds. As wild animals, birds have also accumulated abundant survival skills through long-term evolution, possessing various talents that humans cannot match. Today's book The Genius of Birds is telling us not to underestimate their intelligence just because of their small size. In fact, they also have strong cognitive abilities. The author of this book, Jennifer Ackerman, is a well-known American science writer who has written many best-selling popular science books. To write this book about birds, she interviewed hundreds of ornithologists and consulted a large amount of literature. In the book, she combed through various scientific discoveries and field observations, vividly demonstrating the shocking talents of birds. This book was well received after publication, making it onto many magazines' annual best book lists. Before diving into the details of avian talents, let's first look at the two main human misconceptions about avian intelligence. The first misconception is that because birds have small brains, they must not be very smart. Indeed, compared to primates like humans, the brain volume of birds is only a fraction of the human brains. But in fact, we cannot simply judge intelligence by absolute brain size. A more scientific method is to compare the ratio of brain weight to body weight. For humans, the average brain weight is about 1.3 kilograms, accounting for 2–3% of body weight. The New Caledonian crow, renowned for its tool use, has a brain about 3% of its body weight, comparable to humans. So despite a much smaller brain than humans in absolute terms, the New Caledonian crow has a well-developed brain relative to its body size, which explains its intelligence. The second human misconception about avian brains is that birds lack a cerebral cortex and thus cannot think complex thoughts. But again, this is not true. Scientific research has found that birds also have brain structures analogous to the cortex, just organized differently from the six-layered cortex of mammals. And over 80% of birds' neurons are concentrated in this region, meaning their higher-order thinking happens here. So birds are fully capable of advanced cognition. Correcting these two misconceptions allows us to examine avian talents through a new lens. If ranking all animals by intelligence, birds may not top the list, but they are still far ahead of most reptiles and many less bright mammals. Now let's look at some of the astounding skills demonstrated by birds. The first talent is tool use. In the animal kingdom, tool use is already quite rare, let alone the ability to manufacture complex tools. But the New Caledonian crow is a master at this. They use leaves and twigs to make hooks of varying shapes, narrow, wide, stepped, and so on. These hooks are for fishing out insect larvae from tree hollows to eat. Making these tools requires extremely refined eye-hand coordination and understanding of physics, something even many primates cannot do. So the New Caledonian crow has reached the pinnacle of tool use in the animal world. And they are not alone. Many birds use simple tools, such as stones for weapons or twigs for fishing. This also reflects their intelligence to some degree. The second talent is social skills. Birds live in flocks, so strong social skills are crucial. One species called the white vulture can recognize their peers even after years of separation. Even more impressive are crows, who can remember human faces that harmed them previously. When encountering a known foe, crows will call loudly to warn others. Moreover, birds also learn new skills through observation and mimicry, similar to how human children learn. Adult birds bring juveniles along to forage, demonstrating how to find food and avoid predators. Gradually the young birds pick up survival techniques this way. Some bird species even exhibit focused teaching behaviors. For example, adults deliberately place food out of reach of chicks and vocalize to compel them to follow the sound and leave the nest to search for food. A third obvious avian talent is the ability to maintain pair bonds. Around 80% of birds are monogamous, pairing for life with a mate. To keep such relationships, bird couples need to be considerate of each other. There's a corvid called the Eurasian jay in which males observe female preferences and offer food she doesn't usually eat but craves now. This perspective-taking ability is already quite advanced. Additionally, some birds strengthen bonds through vocal mimicry, like parrots learning their mates' calls. These habits greatly benefit the stability of their relationships. Although monogamous birds also cheat on their mates, they still manage to maintain harmonious family relationships, again requiring excellent social skills. The examples above illustrate just a tiny sample of avian talents. From tool use to social skills to navigational abilities, birds demonstrate astonishing cognitive powers. The most ordinary yet successful example is the ubiquitous urban pigeon. Pigeons have superb adaptability, occupying nearly every corner of human habitation thanks to intense curiosity and exploratory drive. They try anything new, from artificial objects to novel foods. They're adept at exploiting the environment, foraging under streetlights or snatching spiders from their webs. Given the chance, pigeons almost always find ways to survive and breed. Of course, we must recognize that even intelligent birds can struggle to adapt to the enormous environmental changes wrought by humans. Many bird species are declining or even facing extinction. Let us learn to appreciate the amazing talents of birds, and grant them the respect they deserve. If you want to understand the avian world yourself, I highly recommend reading The Genius of Birds. It's an eye-opening adventure guaranteed. Thanks for watching, see you next time.